Hello, this is No Scurvy here. The podcast for pirates out there roaming the high seas. My name is Pirate Ben.
And I'm Pirate Alex. Arr.
Arr.
All right, anyways, want to continue our discussion in part one there about our responsibility or lack thereof to care about, act on, and have a particular opinion on issues, whether they be political, ideological, sociological, religious, I don't know, you name it. And we kind of finished part one. You were talking about this idea you've been discussing with your Scoutmaster. Now, I don't want to paraphrase incorrectly here, but kind of the idea that as long as you're not harming people in this world, that, that is as far as your responsibility extends. Not to say that that's the minimum of the good that you're going to do in your life, but that's as far as your responsibility extends to I don't know, maybe even positively influence the world around you, I guess. Am I paraphrasing that accurately?
Yeah.
That I did. So yeah, I wanted to kind of dig into that a little deeper, provide some ideas that I have, and kind of see where it goes, because I'm very much undecided on all of this. So I want to say that I also don't feel that you have a responsibility to do anything further than that. Like, from my perspective, I don't feel that Ben DeGeorge has a responsibility to do anything in this world other than to do no harm to others. But I feel that I have the responsibility to do more than that. There's this thing that I can't escape within me that continues to burn inside me. There's this thing that keeps telling me, no matter what I do, no matter how my life changes, there's this thing that keeps nagging at me that's saying, man, you are not doing enough. Not even close. You're not even scratching the surface of doing what you could do to be a positive influence on other people. I think every day about how to try to limit and eliminate the harm that I'm doing to other people. And I think every day about how to try and increase my communication skills and to interact with people in my little bubble in this world, around me in a more and more positive way, and to have these little sort of micro experiences of being a positive influence in other people's lives where possible, young people or people that are struggling or family members or whatever. So I'm kind of moving in that direction in a very small way of trying to be a positive influence. But looking at the bigger picture of the world around me that's outside of my bubble, I do almost nothing to be a positive influence on the greater world around me. And that's something that I'm really kind of grappling with right now. And I do feel like this is kind of where I wanted to get to with this. That I live a very privileged life. I've had so many opportunities in this world that come, I really believe, through privilege. And my parents, for example, kind of bettering their lot in life from where they started and providing opportunities to me that I could then capitalize on. I also happen to be, white, cisgender, male, and don't have to deal with like prejudice or anything like that. I kind of represent the majority. And I do wonder, I have this thing poking at me that says, hey, you've been given all of these wonderful advantages. Does it make sense to focus, to so consistently prioritize my own well-being and that of just my family, the people within my bubble, or is there some sort of greater responsibility in my life? So that's kind of where my thoughts are at. I have not fully landed anywhere on this, but kind of wanted to mention that as a counterpoint. Maybe not even a counterpoint, just I don't know. What do you think about all that, man? How does that land on you?
First in life, we must make ourselves strong, and that means with resources and emotionally.
Yeah.
Second, we then have the ability to make others strong from a resource perspective and a mindset perspective. And after that, we can make our big impact on that world. So we need to take that path first, though, of creating resources and internal resources for ourselves, so that we can make an impact in this world. How
do we know when
an
it's
impact? Yeah,
How do we know when it's time? How do we know when that time comes?
it's right now. It could be going to the store and being nice to the guy at the store and saying, Hey, buddy. And Alice, you've always been really, really good at that. That's one of the reasons why I was attracted to you as a friend, is because when you worked at the gas station, the convenience store in college,
Yeah.
you were just awesome to everyone. Anybody who walked in, you were just awesome to all of them. So you've lived this ethos, I think, for a long time. And that's what really has, in many ways, zoned me in on you, because I thought, oh my goodness, this guy is just awesome to everyone. He is.
Thank you, man.
Yeah. So
Were you going to say something else before? I kind of cut you off there.
no, what I was saying is we can do that now. We can give now. And that can be giving to our neighbor. That can be being kind to our neighbor. That can be checking in with our grandmother. You know, we can give now.
So what about the big things, the big picture stuff, like getting involved in politics or taking up a cause like the environment, like not just necessarily even having an opinion on it, but going the next step, like trying to figure out some way to make a change, even if it's not a big way, but like you mentioned, whether you use plastic bottles or this or that, like actually making sacrifices in life, like how do we? I think you and I are already in a place where we're trying to, just in small ways, make the lives of the people around us better. And I do that because it brings me joy. It makes me feel good about myself. I mean, like, how do we have this responsibility to, like, get involved in the big picture? And this is, like, the one thing that keeps nagging at me. I know I keep reiterating the same thing.
You know what? I care about the environment. That is one of my major issues.
You've mentioned that.
Maybe I should align my actions a little more with what my actual caring. So maybe it's time to quit this. You know,
I didn't mean that as a challenge.
and focus more on this. Like, I mean, no. What are you saying? Yeah.
I have developed I've started to develop a strong interest in equality and race.
Yeah.
Minority issues. I don't know the best way to phrase it because I'm the farthest thing from an expert in this area, but I've started to actively seek out reading about these topics, memoirs, books about this kind of stuff, because it's interesting to me more and more. And the more and more I learn through reading about how other people that I'm not representative of feel about the world around them in the United States or the world at large, the more I'm starting to think, like, man, I want to figure out ways to, like, make an impact, even if it's just really small stuff. So that's, like, you mentioned the environment. Like, for me, that is starting to become kind of a particular area of interest for me. Yeah. Even if I could care less about politics or, like, who gets elected or who was elected or, all that stuff. Like,
sure.
Is it maybe important for us as we grow and like become self-fulfilled and like develop core values to at least start to get like into
a little more aligned
with at least one thing? Like, is that good for us? Like, at least one big picture thing, or not? I don't even know. I don't have an answer. Not a rhetorical question. Will that be good?
Well,
would that be good?
I'm wondering if action leads mindset. So sometimes with again, to use a business analogy, right?
Yeah.
If you're trying to become a more confident business person,
yeah,
sometimes the action is the first step.
Yeah.
So maybe in order to be more passionate about an issue and to have a bigger impact on the issue, even though we kind of don't want to, the first step is just to make a little sacrifice.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know, it's like, even though I kind of don't want to stop drinking these,
Yeah.
but maybe for me to care, to have deeper passion around that issue,
Yeah.
is just force myself to stop drinking them. What do you think?
I think I love this. I love that. I think that we should put a pin in this topic, and we should have uncomfortable conversations on camera soon with each other. So we should do an episode on the environment, because you mentioned that as something you're interested in, and issues of equality, which I've mentioned that's something that I'm interested in. And we should just delve into those as separate topics and say, like, have an uncomfortable conversation around it and see where it goes. And maybe it would be super cool if we figured out someone that we could get on camera and talk with around each of those issues that has a much more developed passion in each of those areas that can help expose, like, our own philosophies on these things and understandings and help enrich us. I love that. I think that'd be a really cool idea.
I love this idea, Alex. This is great.
Awesome. I don't know who that would be, but I'm sure we can find people.
Yeah, we can find. Yeah.
Even if it's just a friend.
This is a great idea.
Even if we don't. Even if it's just a friend that is just like is taking action in one of these areas, to be able to learn from them.
I love this idea.
Yeah.